So for the bakery delivery business package, this is basically almost the same thing as the employer lunch business package, really, when you look at the nuts and bolts, except this is my favorite part of the day is dessert. And so I think that, you got the early morning package, the midday package, a one-time delivery. So, you get your name out there in the community to these business owners. I don't know of a service in the areas that I have businesses in. I don't know of a service that will deliver donuts and bagels and pastries and stuff for meetings or conferences we're attending or whatever. I don't know of a service that does this.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not aware of one either, and I know it's something that there's definite demand for. I mean, we all know the kind of age-old practice of someone bringing in donuts to the office, but
Yeah,
there's so much more that can be done with that. I mean, people love
definitely.
baked goods, and not just employees of a business, but I mean, you could have events, you could have customers of a business. All benefiting from the service, and
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that the great thing about bakeries is there's so many artisan bakeries out there that
Yeah.
just don't have any sort of system in place to get their product out to the people.
Yep.
It's just
Exactly.
you just stumble across them and great, but this could really connect people with artisan baked goods that would, I think, improve employee morale, would
Yep.
improve customer satisfaction going into a business, and certainly make for an amazing event. So I think the
Yeah.
demand is there, and it's a great service.
Sure. Well, and I mean, as a business owner, not only would this be something that I would seriously consider putting on autopilot for my employees, but I know for a fact that there would be other ways. So it's kind of like, once you get that wheel turning in business, at first it can be really difficult, but eventually over time you get this wheel turning and things go better and better and better. And your name of your company and what you do is in the hands of more people in your area. And so you get to a point where, you have 2, 3, 4, 500 people that know what you do. They know who you are. And any given weekend, there's going to be somebody, probably even people that subscribe to your regular package, that are going to go, oh, I've got this event going on this weekend. How fantastic would it be to get, 2 dozen donuts or 2 dozen croissants or, whatever muffins delivered to this event that I've got going on. So not only will this package, these packages create immediate stability for the business owner that's doing the bakery delivery club, but then you're going to have so many one-time deliveries that, I mean, I think that it's highly likely somebody that gets this package would, in not too much time at all, have to hire somebody to help meet the demand just by the sheer number of people that know about the service now.
Oh, definitely. And they could use that as a method of scaling things up, bringing on more people, fulfilling more
Absolutely.
services. And this could be a situation where, if handled correctly, I think that the owner could ultimately take a back seat and have sort of an autopilot
Residual
business
income.
generate. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Well, and expand to other cities. I mean, you're looking at there's a lot of neighboring cities where you look and you go, gosh, this city has. I mean, even a city with relative smaller city in what we think of cities as now, 100,000 people. That's not a real big city anymore. But you think about how many businesses exist in that 100,000 person city. How many people are there? How many events go on every single weekend? Whether it's a wedding or a funeral, I mean, gosh, anything really, that a meeting, a conference. And then you count in like neighboring cities that are within commuting distance, and gosh, you got like a world of customers waiting for you.
Absolutely. And as you expand, your buying power increases. So you're going to be able to negotiate, better product rates, and then ultimately become even more profitable.
Now, you've worked under our business methodology. Tell me how our way of doing things has impacted your life.
Well, it's improved my life in many different ways. I've learned to, operate in business more efficiently, more strategically, with a greater focus on win-win outcomes, where the business is profiting, but the, clients and customers are happy. So it's been a very enriching process, and I've learned a lot from you guys. You guys have that entrepreneurial spirit that just makes for good business, and so it's been just an absolute pleasure working with you guys.
And now, what about financially? How would you say your situation is different?
Well, it's been enormously personally rewarding, financially rewarding. We've been able to do things we never imagined being able to do just a few years before. Your unique approach to business has enabled us to, be more profitable than our competitors. We've had a better work-life balance, I think, than most people who, even get close to approaching our income threshold. So I think really, I mean, as rewarding as something could be, it has been for us.
Now, do you feel like our way of doing things has profitability advantages over traditional ways of doing business?
Oh, most certainly. Yeah. I think you can, tell just by our history of growth. I mean, I think, are willing to adapt our business strategies, fill any niche role that's out there, and just, capitalize on things that other businesses aren't even aware of. So, yeah, I think we, have had a much greater level of success than our competitors with more profitability and oftentimes less busy work.
Yeah, certainly. And I think too, with the startup series goes over all sorts of that kind of stuff. And just the ways that we've been luckily forced to adapt, and learn how to do things with less staff and, more technology based or more efficiency based, just really picking things apart down to the typing of emails or not. Stuff like that makes a huge difference, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Breaking things down to their kind of constituent components, seeing what you absolutely have to have, what's not necessary, and then putting your energy behind what drives, maximum productivity and profitability. And I think that's been where we've had a lot of our success.
Now, Justin, what would you say to someone who is thinking about buying one of these business packages, but is maybe nervous about starting a business from scratch instead of going with a more expensive traditional franchise, or maybe nervous about something else with starting a business?
Well, I would say that, now is a very good time, I think, for someone to look at starting their own business. And I think, when you're weighing these options, say in comparison to a more expensive franchise, I think the flexibility that's afforded because you still own and have control of your own business, I think
Absolutely.
that's huge. I think that's why a lot of people start a business. They don't
Yep.
want to have to report to someone and curtail their goal and operations based on the direction of somebody else. So I
Yeah.
think you get all of those benefits. But I think the other thing that's, a major advantage is that it is lower cost. You're not paying a percentage of your income for an indefinite period. You just have the ability to take a proven model, to adapt it to your specific situation, to be given all the tools to implement your strategy and your goals and to achieve it. And I think that's huge.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I mean, as an entrepreneur myself, obviously, that started several businesses, when I look back over what worked really well and what did not work really well, it's the unknowns that are waiting out there to just, grab you by the foot and trip you up. And that's really what I think makes businesses fail. I think there's probably two major things that make businesses fail. Number one is not knowing a system and process that's proven for success, which it takes a while to get there. And then number two is just these pitfalls that every single entrepreneur will face at some point in time or another. And having the startup series as a guide to continually reference back to me, makes all the difference in the world compared to somebody that does not have that resource. And business consultants are really, really, really expensive. It's a good way to, especially when you're in the startup phases, that's a good way to really drain profitability, is having to call somebody and pay them by the hour every time you have a question, rather than just referencing a resource that you've got on your computer.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, you're getting basically a veteran business model that works.
Yeah.
And you're able to use that from the get-go. So, I mean, it's like, taking the Microsoft model when you're starting a software company. It's as good a start as you could have.
Well, Justin, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you joining me here, and going over these business packages. And, for you guys there thinking about this, you can submit on our website, or you can give us a call at 844-500-6620 and speak with a business launching consultant. Again, that's 844-500-6620. Thanks so much.